Radiant team ban.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the round 5 game between Stars and First Departure, the Battle of Singapore here at the GosuCup Asia number 5, with a Silencer being the first ban. Pretty interesting game already, right off the bat. I'm Orbit, and with me is Shred co-casting here. What looks to be a pretty exciting game.
Yeah, I mean, as you already pointed out, that Silencer ban is actually kind of interesting. Don't typically see Silencer being banned in the first two, even though he's obviously a very strong hero, and obviously a very new hero, so people are still kind of not figuring out how to play against him, so they might just don't want to play against him at all. Like, don't want to give the enemy any chance to take it. But typically, you'd see him go through until at least the second ban phase, because there's so many other heroes that at least I think are stronger right now.
A really recent addition, of course, to the ban pool, as well as the pick pool, as you had mentioned before. Really strong in the mid lane, as well as a general supporter. Just Silencer pretty much wins mid at level 2 or 3. It's really painful to deal with, both in competitive play now as well as pubs, now that he has been added in. Batrider being the first pick, as a result really of this Magnus as well as Magnus as well as PL bans coming the way of Stars. This does show, of course, that Undying as well as Darkseer are both in the pool. Undying a little bit less of a common pick in the Asian scene, a little more in the European as well as the American scene. And two other heroes that we have been seeing a lot in the West as well are the Wisp as well as the Coddle. We'll see if Stars, rise up to the plate and pick some of these really top-tier Western heroes, or if they decide to go for a stronger Eastern type hero, I guess you could say, in the means of a Darkseer.
I don't think we're gonna see a Wisp pick. I don't think Asian teams really favor that at all. I think, but I think definitely we're gonna see a Keeper of the Light. Interesting point you made about the Undying. The reason Undying isn't really featured that much anymore, even though he's still a really strong support, is that even though he does really well in those 3v3 situations, typically, recently, it's been a lot of dual roam strategies, right? You go into that 3v3, and as soon as you can, you start to roam towards the mid lane and try to get kills there. And Undying doesn't do that very well. He's not a good roaming hero. He needs a bit of farm, and he needs a little bit of levels. And
that is a style that we've seen really develop in the beginning with LGD Int doing a dual roam type strategy, and just having 3 heroes that can solo each lane relatively well. You'd see some really unorthodox things, for example, like the Darkseer aggressive tri-lane, just because that rotation allows a Darkseer to get experience and get levels as well as a normal offlaner would. He's just getting a little boost from the beginning with the support swing there. Of course, we can't really talk about top tier heroes without mentioning both of the heroes being picked right now, the Shadow Demon as well as the Lifestealer. Lifestealer, just with Bear, Lone Druid seeing a lot more play, Lifestealer's kind of risen up to the plate as the standard anti-tank, super damage dealing, really near unstoppable force that is a strength carry. And Shadow Demon, of course, Shadow Demon's been gaining a lot of popularity recently as well because of the PL buff. PL is banned this time around, but just using Disruption on the PL, being able to get some of your own illusions. We're not going to see that in this game, but he's kind of become more and more popular because of that, and now he's just a top-tier support as well.
Something to point out here is that Lifestealer, not only is he really good against tanky heroes, he's also really versatile. Like, you can pick him early and still not give away your lanes. And the reason for the Shadow Demon pick here, I feel, is because they wanted the Lifestealer really badly, but they were afraid of the Shadow Demon counter pick. Because Shadow Demon with the Demonic Purge shuts down Lifestealer hard. Lifestealer can't do anything against the Shadow Demon for that Purge duration.
And the Purge duration just so happens to kind of go hand in hand with his Rage duration. It's 5 seconds versus 6 seconds. So really having that extra 1 second of full move speed Rage, I mean, it's not going to do that much. Afterwards being 9 seconds down without Rage being on cooldown, of course. We see the Luna being picked up relatively early. Really strong hero as well. Doesn't really give away too much either. That's something that we've noticed in the current metagame with a lot of the different carries that are being picked. You could run some of them in aggressive tri-lanes if you so wish. Luna with the plus damage that she gets from her Lunar Blessing, as well as her allies getting it, just really potent in the aggressive tri-lane, or even just as a solo safe option. The same with Lifestealer. You can run him as a kind of defensive tri-lane or an aggressive tri-lane if you so choose.
I think Luna's a bit of an interesting pick here. Lifestealer actually does really, really well against Luna, even though she's a very fast hero and doesn't really have the HP pool to make Lifestealer's passives effective. He can still rage away the Eclipse pretty much. I mean, the Eclipse isn't going to be hitting him at all. So, I don't know.
I actually expected the Lone Druid to be picked up third instead of the Keeper of the Light, if only because it provides them with a really nice solo safe option, as well as doing quite well against Luna. I mean, if her Eclipse is hitting the bear half the time, that's going to be quite important. Keeper of the Light instead is going to be picked, and some really quick bans coming right now. Lone Druid, Invoker, as well as the Templar Assassin. Just to talk a little bit about this Keeper of the Light pick, these three heroes that they've chosen first are really kind of the makings of a potential aggressive tri-lane, with a lot of firepower as well.
Yeah, I mean, you're setting up that Illuminate with the open wound slow from Lifestealer is really potent. On top of that Disruption, obviously. Disruption is even easier to set it up with. It just provides you with so much killing power in a lane, even though you don't really have that that stun, the conventional stun. You can still burst people down really quickly. And I really think that Invoker ban is interesting. Typically, Invoker isn't really favored as a mid right now because he doesn't come into the game early enough, and he doesn't deal with roamers too well, unless you go to Quaz Wex build. But then you're so you don't really have a lot of lane presence then, because your attack damage is going to be so low.
What's also really surprising is the fact that they don't want to have the matchup Templar Assassin up against the Bat Rider. They chose to ban out the TA, even though they did have that pick. I wouldn't be surprised with a Queen of Pain ban right now, if only to kind of choose heroes that do well in the mid lane against the Bat Rider. And by well, I mean really not die, because it's kind of pretty tough to do well against a Bat Rider that plays it properly in the mid. Of course, we might not even see Bat go mid. There's a lot of versatility still left on First Departure's team. They actually decide to ban out the Weaver instead of the Queen of Pain. And the Chen being the final ban. Pretty interesting. Slightly unorthodox heroes being banned right now. Definitely things you don't see in the normal North American or European scene, to be honest, with the exception of potentially the Lone Druid being banned out.
Yeah, I'm kind of sitting here thinking about that Weaver ban. Weaver is a hero that does okay against Batrider, in my opinion, if you put him in that safe lane up against the Batrider long lane solo. If you want to go aggressive tri-lane, of course. Because with Shukuchi, you're not really going to be slowed down at all, obviously, from the sticky napalm, no matter how many charges you have. So
it also let them be. It kind of was a ban against the potential safe lane solo.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the big one. That's primarily the reason they banned out the Lone Druid, and I guess the Weaver as well. Opting to choose Puck to go against a potential Bat Rider in the mid lane. Really strong hero to go against Bat Rider. Should not die. I say should not because it's a very 50-50 type matchup depending on how each player plays in terms of aggression and in terms... Oh man, that hero. My favorite hero being picked up. Clockwork as the last pick for First Departure. A lot more solidity being shown in their lanes right now. Most likely going to see the Luna as well as the Rubik in the safe lane with the Enigma jungling close by, the Bat Rider in the mid lane, and then the Clockwork going into the off lane. Clockwork does really well against potential Lifestealer defensive tri-lanes, if only because Lifestealer can't really get to him if he cogs and just attacks one side to run away. Cogs also go through the rage that Lifestealer would be able to use, and mana burns through the rage, I believe.
And so does the hook shot, obviously.
Yep, so that's 2 spells right now that go through the potential rage of the Lifestealer to just kind of shut down how many heroes he can attack. There's the Queen of Pain that I thought would come out, and I thought would be banned. So a lot more solidity coming the way of Stars as well. We're not too sure which one's going to go mid between the Puck and the Queen of Pain, but whichever one isn't is most likely going to be in that safe lane solo. Probably going to see Fisher playing the safe lane solo, Queen of Pain, and then have an aggressive tri-lane with the Lifestealer, the Keeper of the Light, as well as a Shadow Demon.
Interesting to pick up Enigma when there is that threat of the aggressive tri-lane. Typically Enigma does really bad against aggressive tri-lanes because he doesn't really offer anything until he has a few levels, and by then it could be too late to even help out. So I'm not too sure about that pick, but maybe they have an ace up their sleeve.
Maybe. Going to be an interesting game to say the least. Lots of kind of combo type oriented heroes on both sides, so both sides might look to get pretty aggressive pretty early into this game.
5 seconds remaining.
And here we go. This is the round 5 of the GosuCup Asia number 5, hosted by none other than GosuGamers.net. And
And
We're
it
about to
wouldn't
see
be a
little bit of
competitive game
pause.
without a pause.
Wait, Dota strikes again.
Yep.
That's okay. We can go over the heroes for the time being and who is playing each one. Over on the Radiant side, my favorite hero, Clockwork being played by Miracle, the captain of First Departure. Hoot A playing the Enigma. Polison on the Batrider. Lubby on the Rubik. And finally, oh, my homies playing the Luna. Oh, man. A homage, if you will, to the techies.
And over on the Dire side, we have Stars. Also a Singaporean team, I think. We have Fisher playing this Queen of Pain. Most likely going to be the safe lane solo, but could be the mid. We're not really sure. And then we have Horo. Horo, that's a very terrible name. On this puck, probably going to be the other solo then, obviously. Oh, I just opened the shop. Don't want to do that. Then we have Rin. I'm just going to call him Rin, even though he has a smiley face. Playing the Coddle. Probably going to go into an aggressive tile lane. I don't see anything else happening. Then we have a Chinese name that I'm not even going to try to pronounce because I don't speak Chinese. Playing this Lifestealer.
Yep, Lifestealer playing the Lifestealer.
Lifestealer playing the Lifestealer. And then we have Pranky on the Shadow Demon.
So hopefully this pause isn't too long. We kind of see the beginnings of a solo mid type build for the Batrider, as expected, with the 3 branches being picked up, of course. Something interesting to note about this hero, very similar starting strength as starting int, and you can kind of tell. I mean, he's sitting at 650 health with just 3 branches already. That's going to be a little bit scary to deal with. Just surprisingly tanky in the early, and lets Batrider be incredibly aggressive. A tree being drawn on the map by Stars. So just to let you guys know about the bracket and how everything's going to shape up, this game, of course, the round of 5 game, the winner is going to play against the winner between Clan Ob and Mineski HyperX. Clan Ob, a little bit of a dark horse in this tournament, making it this far. They are, of course, a Thai team with some not so well known, but I mean, they've got to do well to make it this far into the tournament, so they're looking to play Mineski. That's going to be a tough matchup.
Yeah, I really think it's going to be.
It's definitely like a kind of a proving grounds, if you will, for the lesser known teams to kind of show that they have what it takes to potentially beat some of these more popular teams. I mean, that's really how we started knowing more and more about First Departure. They, of course, got 2nd place at the last GosuCup Asia, losing only to Zenith in the end there, and taking a really nice victory up against the Neolution International team, who will be playing Pacific Esports over in another round of 5 game, I believe.
Yeah, we were actually set out to cover that when we went into this event, but we ended up covering this game instead due to some unfortunate circumstances, but I'm pretty pumped for this game as well.
Yeah, this game is definitely going to be a game to watch for sure.
Yeah. It's Japanese for Zandatsu. Thank you. Big fan.
Alright, Zandatsu on the Lifestealer, there we go. And the game is finally underway. Kind of expected opening coming from the Dire team, from Stars. They're making their way down onto the bot lane, potentially with 5. No, it doesn't look like it, as looks like the Puck is going to go solo safe as well. Very similar builds between the Queen of Pain as well as the Puck. The only difference is an extra set of tangos being picked up by the Puck to just kind of guarantee that he has that strong presence in the solo safe lane. He will, of course, be playing up against the Clockwork. That's going to be a pretty tough lane for the Clockwork. It's hard to deal with a Puck.
Yeah, Puck is just a really strong solo laner now. After he buffed his attack damage, it's really hard to gain initial lane control against him. And he never really lets that go, because the more levels he gets, the stronger he gets, obviously.
Yeah,
Puck is really one of those heroes that really just rely on levels to do his job correctly.
Yep. Good word blocking the pull spot there, actually. We'll see what happens. Of course, they are actually opting for what currently looks to be Luna in the solo. Most likely Rubik going to be rotating down there, just planting the ward up in the top, of course, to check that rune. And here comes rotation. So there we go. It's going to be a dual lane up against a potential aggressive tri-lane. We'll see how this goes. I mean, Luna is one of those heroes that does relatively well. She did actually surprisingly opt to skill Lucent Beam first. This is something you don't see all the time in the North American scene. I keep bringing back North America versus Asia, but this is really what I like to draw the comparisons with. Generally, you'll see Lunar Blessing being picked up just for the extra plus 14 damage to potentially everyone in your quote-unquote tri-lane. In this case, it's a dual lane. But instead opting for that little mini stun, I believe it is 0.6 seconds, which funnily enough is a little bit more than Lion's level 1 stun. Clocking at like 0.55, I believe, but pretty funny.
Alright.
Another pause, Wait Dota at its finest. Something else that's really interesting is that Fisher in the mid lane decided to pick up a mantle rather than a potential magic stick. I would have definitely liked to see the magic stick a lot more. Considering how fast you can get your charges up against an aggressive Batrider, which is what he's going to look to do in the mid lane. Be really aggressive and try to get some rune control by pushing the lane forwards and just making sure Queen of Pain can't come up to kind of farm with her Scream.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you right there. I think the magic stick is what pretty much every solo mid hero needs to pick up against a Batrider if they even want to stay in the lane. Sticky Napalm is just way too strong when it comes to giving you lane control, and the magic stick kind of counteracts that really, really well.
Just waiting a little bit more. We do see the Illusion Rune being picked up in the bot lane by the Shadow Demon. Nothing too important right now. We'll just wait a little bit more for these teams kind of just to, you know, warm up a little bit, you know, flex their fingers, get ready. This is a pretty high-stakes game, of course, as it is a best of one. The winner making it into the quarterfinals. This is the round of 16 already, in the day 2 of the GosuCup Asia. Some counter warding done almost instantly here, actually. There we go. Looks like hopefully we get underway this time around. This is take 2, I guess, if you will. And the show is on the road.
This is a really defensive ward on those on the Radiant and Ancients. Kinda expecting tons of roaming from the dire supports to take out this Batrider.
Really nice counter ward here by the Rubik, just making sure that the pull spot is not blocked. And some early rotation actually coming out of the Shadow Demon as well as the Keeper of the Light. They're probably looking to take this Enigma by surprise. Unfortunately, Enigma did not start out with the easy camp, and if he had, he would have taken a lot of damage there and maybe even have been forced back. So good awareness coming out of the Enigma, knowing that there's an aggressive tri-lane with both supports missing, deciding to tackle the harder but safer camp in this sense. And things are starting out 1v1 in the bot lane for now, between the Luna as well as the Lifestealer.
And this is why Keeper of the Light is such an annoying support to play against. Look at how much health Luna just lost from that short channel on the Illuminate. It's just so tough to play against, and you need to have wards to cover for it. And they do have this Observer ward. You have to ask yourself, how long is that going to stay right there?
Actually, wonder what he's actually getting to him. He is actually getting the Magic Stick being ferried to the Queen of Pain right now. So good. Maybe he was just a little bit worried about who he would be facing in the mid lane, whether it was going to be the Clockwork, as rare as that is, or the Batrider. But as soon as he realizes that it is the Batrider, he does ferry his Magic Stick into the mid lane. Batrider, of course, already has his bottle, so he's going to look to try to get some early rune control right away in this matchup. Some team pulling, I guess, happening right now. Luna getting the majority of that. In the top lane, things look like they are starting a little bit slow. Clockwork actually doing a lot better than the Puck so far, but he is losing a lot of health, having forced to go through a salve as well as 2 different tangos here. And using his cogs to the best. Oh no, he's actually getting caught right now. The creeps are getting him caught. Is he going to go down here? But the cog at the very end actually hits twice on the Puck, and he has no more mana. Oh, that would have been really unfortunate if he had been first blooded as a result of being trapped by 3 melee creeps and his cogs. Fortunately for him, though, doesn't seem to be the case.
Look at the scribbling on the minimap. They really want to pull, but they feel that they really can't. And I mean, that's true. Look at what the Shadow Demon is doing. He's effectively zoning the Rubik out from this pull. Just denying this lane completely for the Radiant side.
Did Rubik actually get blocked there? Did he block his own spot?
I think that
Or
was
did someone else
Caudal
rotate?
running through these trees right here.
It may have been. It may have been. That makes a lot more sense. I was a little bit confused there. I was
Yeah.
like, why would he do that to himself? But yeah, definitely that's the case. Nice micro coming out of the Enigma. Just sort of passive. I mean, if the Radiant do play a passive, as they do have the extra jungler on their side, there should be a little bit of an advantage coming into their lanes, assuming that the bot lane doesn't get completely shafted, which it kind of looks like it is being right now. Luna sitting at 3 CS and 1 deny compared to the 17 last hits and 15 denies of the Lifestealer. Pretty interesting right now, actually. Batrider not doing as well as he would have liked. I expected him to pick up the bottom rune, but Keeper of the Light had rotated bot just to snag that double damage. And he's actually going to get another one as well. I wonder if they're going to go an aggressive blink forward, as well as the Scream of Pain and Shadow Strike going into the mid lane. He's looking to do a lot of damage onto this Batrider. Batrider having to use his bottle in between, and actually Fisher taking a couple of extra tower hits there to try to get a first blood. Forced to use his salve now, but he does get his bottle underway. Relatively late Crow coming the way of the Dire squad here of Stars. There it is. As I say that, of course. Good timing there.
I actually zoomed in on it as well. You kind of want to see that earlier though, because there is always the threat of that roaming support sniping it off with the bottle on it. So
it's going to be a lot less scary, only because of the fact that Rude stay bottom to protect his Luna, and Enigma's not really going to be rotating aggressively into the jungle. But just to help with bottle crowing, it's a lot more helpful, as Queen of Pain is doing the bottle crow pretty much right now. You know, the CS really tells the story right now, though, for the time being at least. Just the difference in CS right now between Luna as well as the Lifestealer. Stars is doing a really good job controlling their lane backwards, and it's going to take a lot to try to get Luna to bounce back right now. Level 3 compared to the level 5 Lifestealer. This is going to look kind of like a scary start, and it's really up to their lone jungle farmer, the Enigma, to try to bring things up into this mid game to make sure that they kind of bounce back, because as things look right now, it's a little bit scary. Look how aggressive this Clockwork's being. Oh man, he tried to get the Cog out. And actually, Puck using his Dream Coil. This is some pretty hyper aggression going on right now. Oh man, Clockwork actually breaks the Dream Coil stun. I believe it was buffed slightly, was it? Yeah, the coil stun was... Yeah,
was it really?
A nice dodge there. I remember it used to be 5 seconds, but now it looks like it's 6. That must have been a long time ago, actually.
Yeah. It wasn't recently, at least, because I don't remember it.
My memory ain't what it used to be. The top rune actually is going to be spawned. Queen of Pain getting there first. Actually, the bounce flame break from the Batrider, not assisting in this case. Actually popping her haste rune, and Batrider forced to TP home. He does get a full bottle as he TPs home though, so that's okay, but he's going to miss on quite a little bit of experience. Enigma might actually be rotating in the mid lane to try to, you know, make sure that experience doesn't go to waste, but a nice play by the Queen of Pain, and making sure that she gets that 6-minute rune and forces the Batrider back. And this is something that I really like to see on Batriders. I've actually been doing this quite a bit myself. Picking up smoke, even though you are the solo mid, and just self-smoking, as he did right now, really lets you gank pretty much anywhere. And while the Batrider's missing, all lanes have to be relatively scared. They do look like they're trying to go on this puck. Actually, it's still 0-0, 7 minutes into this game. Pretty interesting. I wouldn't even say it's passive, but it's very positioning based right now, because as you've seen, the aggression in this top lane, both players really trying to get aggressive on each other. We'll see if Clockwork wants to go into this puck right now. Oh man, he's gonna try to go for this. The ultimate comes off from the Batrider onto the puck. The hook shot as well, just trying to guarantee this kill. Puck uses his orb out, but Batrider is there to ensure that they do pick up the first blood, in fact. Clockwork getting the last hit there. So well played there by First Departure to guarantee that first blood onto the solo safe lane Puck. And an immediate TP right back out from that Batrider while the Queen of Pain rotates to try to pick off this Clockwork. Clockwork most likely going to go down right now. Oh, actually a miss on the Scream of Pain. She might not actually get this kill, having to use her bottle as well as her stick. Fortunately, the Sonic Wave hits, but he's actually juking as much as he can. Unfortunately, it is not enough, and Fisher picks up the follow-up kill onto the Clockwork. Unfortunate miss there. It was barely out of range. I would say like 20 range probably away from hitting that Clockwork, but fortunately it didn't cost him a kill.
Look at this bottom lane.
Actually, on this bottom lane, yeah, Luna's going to get the kill onto the Keeper of the Light. That's actually quite important as well. Oh man, Enigma going to pop off the black hole. It's going to hit both heroes. They're focusing the Shadow Demon right now. The appropriate target's taken this situation. Is Nake's going to be able to get the Enigma? It doesn't look like it. A nice telekinesis by the Rubik. And now they're chasing onto this Lifestealer. Luna, of course, 5 mana short from her Lucent Beam. She doesn't look like she's going to get the beam off. But an excellent hook by the Clockwork as well. They're going to catch this Keeper of the Light twice now. And Luna gets the last hit with her Lucent Beam yet again. So that's the bounce back that I'm talking about. Luna sitting up with as many kills as she has last hits. Actually now just hitting 4, but pretty funny. Unfortunately, they didn't get the Lifestealer in this case, but you know, they got the next best thing. They got 3 kills out of that exchange. There was rotation that was necessary out of the Clockwork, as well as not really the Batrider, but Batrider did force himself to rotate as well, which means that the Puck and the Queen of Pain, because they didn't rotate, they're getting some nice solo XP for the time being.
Too bad.
Interesting choice by this Clockwork to max cogs before what was it called? Battery Assault? Yeah, Battery Assault. Don't really see that often at all. Battery Assault is a lot of damage, and he's missing out on that. Cogs are still good, obviously, but I feel as if level 1 Cogs give you enough.
The reasoning behind this was really because of lane specifics. Against a Puck, he's never going to successfully be able to trap the Puck into getting a kill with his Battery Assault as a result of the fact that he can just always Illusory Orb out of it. So he tried to do as much damage as possible with the Rocket Flare, as well as just spamming Cogs to make sure that Puck doesn't have any mana, and then can he be able to guarantee the kill.
But was he level 8 before that counter gank on the bottom lane?
Yeah, well, he actually had 3 in Rocket before then, so he actually maxed Rocket with his level 8.
Oh, okay, okay.
So he still had 2 in Cogs from earlier. It's pretty interesting. It's some quite substantial damage, to be honest. 120 damage as well as mana burn with a 60 mana spell. It's pretty big.
Yeah.
The double of damage rune is scouted by this Luna. She's gonna put herself in a little bit of a risky position to go for it, but wisely decides this is not the battle I want to fight right now, and she backs off. Probably going to look for a pull right now, actually. Deciding against it. Ping's coming from her as well. But they don't want to pull that, apparently. Opting to just keep the lane where it is. Interesting, to say the least. I would have probably pulled that as a Luna. She's sitting at 1,400 gold already. Wow, that's actually quite substantial.
Yeah, she got quite a bit from that triple kill, obviously. And then she kind of... I think she got 5 creeps after that. Just in that dull of action afterwards. So, I mean, that's quite a bit of gold still.
The only gold she's getting is coming from the kills, though.
Yeah, for sure.
57 and 42. It's 10 minutes and 50 seconds into this game, and 100 combined CS from this Lifestealer. Pretty big. I mean, like, 42 denies? Like, are you kidding me? That's massive.
Oh my god, yeah.
And it really shows. Like, look, level 7 Lifestealer, level 5 pretty much. She just hit level 5 as well on the Luna. I feel like once the 5-man starts, it's going to be really tricky without the help with the Enigma and Clockwork. But, you know, First Departure's lineup is really smart in terms of its composition, because as soon as Stars want to start 5-manning, they have a lot of zoning, as well as just really hyper-aggressive in 5-on-5 situation heroes, with the Batrider, the Enigma getting potentially a big black hole, as well as the Clockwork. So taking a look at the gold as well as the experience graphs, it's very even right now. Even though the score shows that it is 4-1 and that there is a kill advantage for the Radiant, just the farming advantage really is going the way of Stars. Actually, I missed a kill there. Queen of Pain activating the DD rune just before she goes down to the Clockwork. A nice hook there to just guarantee that kill as well. And now he's going back into this Battery Assault max here. So kind of smart transitioning coming out of him. Trying to use his skill build to win the lane against a potential tough opponent in the Puck, and then going right back into a solid damage dealing build as well, bottling up the Invis too, and they might look like they want to make a play on this Puck now. We'll see what happens. Enigma is there, and he does have a black hole up, but I don't know if they're going to want to be able to use this on the Puck alone. Clockwork's in position. They're just waiting right now. He is going to go for it right now. Puck using his orb pretty much right away. Oh man. Doesn't look like they're going to dive, actually, and the TP support comes in the way of the Queen of Pain. Are they going to try to be aggressive on this Clockwork now? He doesn't have his hook up for another 20 seconds, but I think that TP was just a little bit of a ensuring the Puck doesn't get ganked yet again.
Yeah, it looks like they kind of want to keep the Puck on the right track, right? Because Puck is going to be really important for their mid-game timing later on. As you said earlier, it's gonna be tough to push against this first departure lineup because they have a really strong mid game.
Oh man, look at this Queen of Pain in the mid lane. She's using her Sonic Wave there to do a lot of damage onto this Batrider, missing her Scream yet again. Oh man, is she gonna go down because of this? It looks like it. She actually doesn't have enough. Oh man, look at that hook though, going onto his own ally, and the black hole actually going onto the Shadow Demon. A lone black hole to just guarantee this kill here. But it's gonna secure it. Oh man, the blink forward as well by this Queen of Pain guarantees a kill on the Batrider, but she's gonna probably pay because of this. Yep, looks like she's gonna go down, barely able to. She kind of missed her blink there, I guess. She was mid-animation. Nothing she really could have done about that, unfortunately. But some really aggressive play, guaranteeing that they kill the Batrider. Batrider also trying to rush that blink dagger with pretty much only the boots of speed as well as the bottle in one. So, you know, really trying to make sure that his blink dagger is delayed as long as possible here. Kind of weird fight though, I gotta say. Kind of all over the place and using spells, big spells for just one person. That Sonic Wave on just the Batrider when he was at about 80% health. She did get the kill in the end, so it was definitely worth it, but very interesting play. Thinking that far ahead, as well as a lone black hole on that Shadow Demon.
that lone black hole is really close to hitting that Queen of Pain as well, and I mean if that would have happened, it would have been a disaster for Stars.
Yeah, definitely the right play to make. Unfortunately, it turned out kind of as poorly as he could have liked.
Yeah.
At least he did hit the Shadow Demon though. No PGG black hole here. Oh man, actually, is Shadow Demon caught right now? Using his ultimate on the Luna. Luna forced to use her Eclipse as well. And the Flame Break goes onto the Queen of Pain, but she just blinks away. And now Luna's gonna go down to the Shadow Demon. Illuminate helping a little bit there as well. That's a big problem. Luna's very weak as it is right now, and she's not doing too well for herself. Only picking up the Mithril Hammer, still quite far away from her BKB.
Interesting to go for the Mithril Hammer rather than the Ogre Club just to get some extra HP. I don't know how I agree with that.
Yeah, actually, are they going to try to go on this Queen of Pain? She does blink out to safety, so she will be okay here. And of course, the Lifestealer picking up the tower on the bottom with the nice 4-man pressure coming with the Puck there as well. Puck picking up his Blink Dagger as well. So that's two heroes that are going for just boots of speed into Blink Dagger directly with the bottle. Interesting play.
Look at this movement from the Stars right here through the Radiant jungle. They wanna wrap around first departure right now. Looks like we're gonna have our first real team fight too.
Man. Yeah, it looks like we are actually. The Purge going onto this Rubik. He's gonna try to turn around and steal. What does he steal? He steals Waning Rift, using it onto the Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon's gonna go down to the right clicks of the Enigma. Ultimate coming from the Batrider to pick off that Puck as well. And that's a 2 kills going the way of the Radiant. So the aggression from the rotation from the Stars team actually not paying off in this case.
Is under attack.
Good coordination and good awareness as well. Rubik didn't even go down during that exchange, so he turned around, stole Waning Rift, and did a lot of damage to that Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon not able to pick up the kill on that Rubik. Look at that ward. That's a very interesting ward in that mid lane from the Dire.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh wow, more aggression coming away this Queen of Pain. She can get out okay as a result of that haste rune. Trying to, you know, do as much damage and just hinder the farming. If you want to call it farming, 27 CS at 16 minutes really isn't what I would call farming. Of course, she was against probably one of the hardest lanes in this game, the aggressive tri-lane with the Keeper of the Light as well as Shadow Demon. So doing quite well for herself in regards to that, but not as well as she would like. And with that Queen of Pain on her tail, it's a lot harder for Luna to get the farm.
Middle tower is under attack.
But rotating into the mid lane now. So as we had mentioned before, the first tower of the game going the way of the Lifestealer, but you know, it's still a very even game in terms of both gold as well as XP. XP actually favoring the Radiant by a decent amount now as a result of the Enigma just doing a lot of work so far. He's sitting at 2, 0, and 4.
Coming in.
Illuminate spam into the mid lane right now. And actually, this is definitely favoring the Dire for now, just because most of the heroes are in the mid lane for the Radiant. So that Keeper of the Light being there, spamming Illuminates, really doing a lot of work for counter pushing, and allowing the Lifestealer, as well as the Queen of Pain, to kind of just split push on the side. Queen of Pain a little bit scared right now, as there is quite a few heroes missing.
And rightfully so. I mean, look at this Batrider. He wants this Queen of Pain, and he wants her bad. I mean, look, with the Blink Dagger, it's going to be really easy to get the jump on her. And when that Flaming Lasso goes out, I don't think she's going to live through it. Not with the Luna close by. Oh, close, close.
Very close. He did have a blink too.
Yeah.
We'll see what Enigma decides to go next. Something interesting to note is that once Enigma does get a potential BKB, nothing is going to be able to stop his black hole from channeling the full duration. Oh, a blink forward as well as the ultimate going onto the Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon looks like he's pretty much caught now in no man's land because of the pullback from the Batrider. And Batrider, of course, getting the last hit there. So a nice coordination there and a nice awareness from the Batrider to pick off the kill on the Shadow Demon. And now they look like they're going to go into this mid lane. Is Keeper of the Light here? That is the question. He is, and he is spamming level 3 Illuminate right now. Actually, a blink forward as well as the Waning Rift and the Dream Coil from the puck. Does a decent amount of damage, but the mech is popped by that Enigma. Enigma's BKB cancelled almost instantly. I think that was a misplay right there. And the Puck Illusory Orb getting the kill onto the Enigma. Queen of Pain being very aggressive still right now, but she actually gets Lucent beamed away, taking a lot of damage, but her blink does come off cooldown, and she does blink away to safety. Wow, what a hectic team fight. Unfortunate cancel of the black hole by the Enigma. I don't think he got pushed back from the cogs.
No, he didn't.
No, they're on his team.
That was just, yeah.
That was just a misclick then. Oh, that's really unfortunate. He was looking for the perfect black hole timing, and in the end, just canceled it as he was hesitating so much with the clicking there.
Yeah, I mean it's a bit unfortunate, but when you're playing at this level, you have to keep your head cool. You can't really make those mistakes.
Man, this is a crazy aggressive Queen of Pain for now, though.
Yeah. Really.
He does manage to get out okay, and you know what? His skill build kind of mimics his aggression. You know, he maxed Blink relatively early, as well as, you know, picking up items such as that point booster, going for the Aghanims most likely.
Oh, mid.
Oh man, in the mid lane, they are going on the Shadow Demon yet again. Shadow Demon taking a lot of the pain here so far. The Batrider ultimate used yet again for that kill. So the Flaming Lassos, you know, providing really effective use there, just picking off the support over and over. For the time being, doesn't look like it's hindering anything in terms of like warding, for example, just with that Shadow Demon being so poor. Ping's coming out onto the top just to try to defend their outer tower. Is it going to go down to just creep pressure alone? There is no Fortify up. Lifestealer looks like he's going to get in time to deny the tower. He barely makes it in time, gets a deny, but that's an important deny for them. Just trying to mitigate as much gold as everyone on the team, especially the Luna, is taking. Luna being still incredibly scared.
I mean, I would be.
Really close to
they don't
BKB.
really have any vision right now of where the Dire team is, so.
Yeah. Oh man, it looks like some pressure coming away of the top lane. Everyone's here except the Queen of Pain, of course. Queen of Pain does have a TP as well, so she is able to go. Actually, a Lucent Beam, as well as a nice blink back by the Queen of Pain, pretty much anticipating a potential gank coming her way, and TPing back to safety. So really smart play coming out of Fisher, knowing that there were some TPs coming by means of that really nicely placed Observer Ward there in the top for the Dire, and make sure that she gets out safely. And you know, with those TPs, they can't really do anything in terms of defending the top tower. This looks like it's going to be a free tower going the way of Stars. Oh man, there's so much to talk about this game, especially, I would say, right now with the Clockwork. He does look like he's pretty much completed his Aghanims in about 5 gold.
Oh!
Yeah, and this is going to be really good for initiation. I mean, every time the Batrider is blinking forward, they're getting a kill on that Shadow Demon. Imagine if they can do something with so much mobility every 12 seconds. And that's exactly what's going to happen as a result of him finally picking up that Aghanims. So Clockwork looking very rich and really strong item choices. Once they start winning the team fight, pretty much everyone's going to go down if he gets his hooks off. And he has been pretty successfully lately. Looks like there was a potential trade going on here. Batrider using his Firefly. They actually managed to pick off the Coddle with the Flaming Lasso. They're going to bring him back into Luna. Luna getting the last hit with the Lucent Beam. Some smart play there. And now Luna popping her BKB as well as Eclipse. Shadow Demon goes down pretty much instantly. The Black Hole going off onto this Lifestealer. Everyone's focusing the Lifestealer. He pops his Rage though. Uses Infest as well. Blink forward, Waning Rift as well as the Doom Coil. And the Sonic Wave coming up. Enigma's going to go down. Luna's actually going to go down next. Batrider running for his life. But Queen of Pain does have her Blink up right now. Blinks forward aggressively. Gets the Scream off. And the Batrider goes down. A 3-for-2 exchange right now. Both supports going down. Actually, the Rocket Player doing quite a bit of damage onto that Lifestealer. Lifestealer using his armlet toggle though to just get away safely. And at the end of the day, it was a 3 for 2 there. The Keeper of the Light as well as the Shadow Demon going down, as I said, the supports for Stars. But the Batrider, Luna, as well as the Enigma going down for first departure. So definitely a fight that ended up favoring Stars, even though they were initially initiated upon. Initially initiated.
Initially initiated. And I mean, yeah, as we saw those TPs come in, at least I felt that, oh, this is going to end really badly for Stars. But they lived. I'm not quite sure how, but they lived through the black hole, and I mean, I guess that's just the strength of the Lifestealer. Oh, actually, hold that thought.
Yeah, wow, Clockwork actually getting the kill onto that Keeper of the
So
Light.
much damage. Wow.
Just the initiation power right now.
Yeah.
I mean, Batrider can initiate and Clockwork from pretty much wherever they want, unobstructed by really the terrain with that Firefly as well as the hookshot. His hookshot right now has how much range? It has 2,500 right now. It's pretty insane. Actually, I think the Aghanims used to increase it by 500 as well.
Radiant's middle tower has
Does it
been
now, though?
denied.
I'm
I
not
don't know
sure.
if it still does. It used to, for sure. But it doesn't matter. I mean, that's still a heck ton of range. Heck ton. Man, I'm like on the ball with my vocabulary today.
Heck ton. Well, I'm not
man.
gonna complain.
Are they gonna
so.
try to be aggressive? Yes, they are. The Dream Coil being used by this Puck, missing his Waning Rift, unfortunately. He's just gonna TP out safely. Clockwork kind of laughing in their faces as the as he just, you know, decides to TP out. And that's something very important to mention. Apart from the Dream Coil as well as Shadow Demon's Disruption, there are no stuns on the side of Stars. So some really nice awareness by Clockwork, knowing that he was in a safe position to TP out and doing it wisely, guaranteeing his safety. Taking a look at the gold, it's still a pretty much dead even game, both in terms of gold and experience in the graphs. So some really close Dota. This Battle of Singapore is a lot closer than we had originally thought it would be. This is the round of 5, the round of 16, so both teams, of course, really strong. It could go either way, really. The hook from the Clockwork, the long range, going onto this Lifestealer. They're going to try to go on him, but he does pop his Rage. I'm surprised that Clockwork didn't use his Cogs there. I guess he didn't want to be trapped with a pretty much high DPS dealing Lifestealer. Are they going to try to counter-initiate right now? Puck uses his Blink Forward, the Waning Rift. They're going to try to go on this Batrider. Batrider silenced for another 3 seconds, and the Lifestealer picking up the last hit there. Good play there. Smart, knowing that they can initiate quite safely there. In the top lane, actually, Luna forced to use her BKB, as well as teleport out from the pressure from this Queen of Pain. And, you know, pressure is the name of the game in Fisher's Book of Queen of Pain, I should say, because he has been incredibly aggressive and making sure that Luna just has no farming space in this entire game.
Yeah, very
Really
impressive
smart
play
play
actually.
coming.
Yeah, and I mean that's definitely reflected on the items. Working towards the Yasha now, but
Yep.
pretty far away still. I mean, at this point in the game, you typically look to have a Manta style and possibly like working towards your next item. I mean, Luna is known for being quite a fast farmer that has a lot of impact early on in the game.
Some pressure from the Radiant. They're going to try to take this bottom tower right now. Unfortunately, the tower is sitting just outside of deny range, so the Dire couldn't get to it first. But the Illuminate spam pretty much starting off right away.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Mech still
attack.
up for the Enigma. They're just going to give this up. Smart. Actually, Puck trying to go for the deny. Actually, Puck going for the deny, missing it, and getting hooked. The Blinding Light from the Keeper of the Light kind of traps Clockwork in from his own cogs, getting zoned out by himself, and his team says, nope, I don't want a part of that. They're actually going to go on this Rubik now, though. Rubik in no man's land yet again. The Radiant running for their lives as they lose 2 heroes. Luna, of course, getting the last hit on that tower, so good for them there, but really nice. I mean, really nice Blinding Light from that Keeper of the Light. Rin did that to perfection, pretty much. Clockwork was zoned between his own cogs, which he couldn't destroy in time, and 4 enemy heroes just wailing on him, and he pretty much went down quite quickly. And as weird as it is, Clockwork was a very important target there in this fight. In terms of item progression for him, while we do see the Dire going for this Roshan, which they can get as a result of 2 nice pickoffs, you know, I would really like to see a Blade Mail coming his way right now. Generally, if I play this hero in the mid lane, I would go Arcane's, Bottle, of course, Aghanims, as well as just Blade Mail in the end. I think it would do a lot of work, not for the Lifestealer. Oh man,
Roshan has
that Lifestealer
fallen
went pretty
into
low to
attack.
Roche there. But not for the Lifestealer, but more for the Queen of Pain, as well as the Puck. They could do a lot of damage there.
Look at his
Even
Queen of Pain's item build right here. I love this so much. when you're being as aggressive as Fisher has been this game, I mean, the only thing limiting you from being more aggressive is your cooldowns, right? So you buy an Aghanims to lower the cooldown of your ultimate spell, and suddenly you can be even more aggressive. I mean, he's not ever gonna stop chasing this Luna down, really.
Cooldowns, eh? I want to see a refresher now. I don't think it's gonna happen though. Sitting on 3,000 gold, really healthy gold amount for Fisher right now. Oh man, actually the blink forward as well as the flaming lasso from this Bat Rider. Is Fisher gonna go down? They're actually gonna use the hook as well. Hook is only a 12-second cooldown right now, so a definitely worthwhile hook there to guarantee the kill onto that Queen of Pain, making sure she can't blink away to safety. She's on the sidelines for 60 seconds now, and it looks like they're trying to gear up to take this top tier 2 tower. We need to see if the Dire make the appropriate rotations, if Keeper of the Light's going to TP there or not. Doesn't look like it, so a healthy amount of damage is going to be taken by this top tier 2 tower, 4 stars. Are they just going to give this up? It looks like they are. Actually using their Fortify though, very interesting. I would say if they were going to give this up, it's a little bit of a waste of a Fortify. And is Luna going to pick up the last hit? Doesn't look like it. Going to no one, which is a little bit of extra gold for everyone, but Luna wants as much gold as she can really get for now at least.
For sure.
The mech is now picked up by the Keeper of the Light, so there is kind of like a mech symmetry now with Enigma and Keeper of the Light. There isn't going to be an advantage with burst heal for now, for the time being. Wow, very interesting that Puck has still kept his Boots of Speed this entire time. He's going for a Sheep Stick pretty much right now with that ultimate orb pickup. Could very well be a Lincoln's as well, but more likely going to be the Sheep. The Force Staff shown before with that Bat Rider getting the pick off onto that Queen of Pain, but he has picked it up, so very mobile still right now. And Enigma, rather than going for the BKB, opted to go for a Blink Dagger. So how many blinks / long range mobility is that? That is 3 for now. They're going to be able to pick off anyone they want so long as they are coordinated enough to go in as a group, really. Something interesting to note as well is that there hasn't really been a gem pickup recently. I don't see a gem on either team right now. Let me just double check to make sure. Yep, doesn't look like it. Generally, you see gems picked up around this time to make sure that the map control is really as much on your side as possible, especially on such an even game such as this, where the experience as well as the gold is pretty much in a 2,000 difference. 1,500 experience going the way of stars, but the gold is dead even. You want to pretty much get as many small advantages as possible, and we see that with the sentry wards being picked up from both teams, but surprising that there is no gem yet.
Look at this bottom lane, just sitting behind this Queen of Pain, waiting for them to pounce on her. I mean, even using the blink aggressively. This is
and here we go. It looks like this is going to happen. The blink forward as well as the Force Staff back. Queen of Pain's taking a lot of damage. Is she going to go down? She is going to go down. This counter gank did not work at all. Luna doing quite a bit of work right now with that BKB. So blink forward as well as the black hole, hitting both the Keeper of the Light as well as the Lifestealer. Lifestealer being telekinesis up. The aggressive hook as well. Are they going to get everyone? This is a 5 for 0. Actually, the Aegis being popped. So they're going to need to do this again. Some crazy freaking music coming the way of that Aegis coming back. But Lifestealer trying to man up on everyone. Look at them go. Oh man, the hook coming just off cooldown. Really nice cogs as well, zoning him back to make sure he doesn't go down to that Lifestealer. And that's a 5 for 0 exchange. Clockwork playing absolutely flawlessly in that engagement. The counter gank did not work at all, unfortunately for them. It was a really nice idea, but you know, first departure executed better. I mean, that's pretty much it. They really made sure that they focused that Queen of Pain. If Queen of Pain did not go down before her pretty much chain stun was done, that could have been an entirely different fight. She didn't even get a chance to use any of her spells. Her Sonic Wave, her Scream, nothing.
And I think that kind of comes down to the Puck blinking just a bit too short and then not being able to get his Waning Rift off in time. There were a lot of spells that could have been neglected if he would have blinked a little bit more forward and hit it pretty much straight away. Instead, he blinked too short and he had to walk a bit of a distance and then use the spell. Use the silence, I mean. And it hurt them.
That's a big, big team fight win as well. The gold graph just now from a pretty even game, spiking up around 5,000. It's 4,000 right now in favor of first departure. They even got the Lifestealer's Aegis. I mean, that was pretty much as ideal as it could have been for first departure. And now they're sitting in the driver's seat in this game. And I'm sure Luna loves that. Look at the bounce back in terms of CS. Man, how, like, That's pretty impressive. She's sitting second right now, very close to the top farmer, considering how poor it was. Actually, the Dream Coil going off onto this Enigma, as well as the Demonic Purge. Enigma is going to go down before being able to do pretty much anything. His team pretty much running for their lives as well. I wonder if Rubik's going to try to spend his money. Clockwork missing his hook. Oh man, oh, is he going to get out? No. It was a kind of cute idea from the Rubik trying to get that TP out, but unfortunately, didn't work out too well there. As they did pretty much out DPS the duration. What is this Clockwork doing? Running for his life. Managing to get out okay though. Good hook to his creeps. Kind of stuck in no man's land.
Tower is under attack.
2 TPs from the Dire. There was some split pushing going on by the Luna. Now sitting at the top CSer. What a bounce back from Oh My Homies. Man. Who would have thought it? So Clockwork actually opted to go for the Ghost Scepter here. Very interesting, just to make sure that the Naix wasn't really focusing him. I don't necessarily agree with this. I mean, assuming appropriate cogs, Naix is going to have a really tough time engaging on you. And when he does, if you do have an Aghanim Scepter, you can always just hook him, as that does go through Rage. I definitely would have liked to have that BKB, sorry, that Blade Mail a lot earlier. But to each their own, it's working very well for him. I mean, they're sitting very comfortable right now.
Boom,
so who am I to criticize the Radiant right now?
Well, I mean, I still think you raise a valid point. But is Blade Mail really the right choice? I mean, as you pointed out, I mean, the rage kind of stops it, so.
Yeah, I mean, but that's one hero. If they can take out any other hero just as quickly, Clockwork's really going to be in the pretty much front of things, and pretty much as much additional damage as possible is really useful for that hero. A Force Staff could do just as well, I guess, in that sense, just helping mitigate some of the damage that his team or just catching people would take. Batrider getting the last hit on the tower in the mid lane. That's pretty much every outer tower gone down now for Stars. Of course, First Departure does have all of their outer towers still up, so some nice map control. Doesn't really show it in terms of warding. Some really nice wards coming the way of Stars, making sure that every entrance to their jungle is covered, so that they are able to farm, at least there, quite safely. Basher now being picked up for the Lifestealer, so he's sitting at Armlet, AC, and now Basher. Most likely going for that Abyssal Blade, potentially just to kind of lessen the amount of damage Luna does under BKB form. But things aren't lasting too long for them right now. While the Lifestealer is living quite a while, his team's kind of going down relatively quickly. Still no gem. That's another interesting thought. And actually, 2 Ghost Scepters being picked up for the Radiant. The Batrider has one as well. And he's sitting on 2,600 gold, so some very rich Batrider play here. In terms of gold per minute, though, of the top 3, 2 of them are for Stars. So while this game does slightly favor First Departure right now, nothing's really over yet. There is still some bounce back potential, especially as Queen of Pain gets closer and closer to finishing her Sheepstick. So that'll be the second Sheepstick on their team. The first one, of course, being picked up by the Puck. Look how scared these teams are being. Sticking as 5 and just trying to safely farm as much as possible.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't want to give away kills at this stage in the game because it is so. It's still kind of even. I mean, this Luna is kind of pulling quite ahead in farm right now, even though she's not the top CSer in the game. But I mean, if you look at her items, she's getting really scary. So if you're the Dire side, you really don't want to give away. Oh,
yeah, that was a pretty interesting hook actually. He tried to farm with it, but he's actually taking a decent amount of damage from this Queen of Pain. Is Queen of Pain going to keep going? It looks like she is, but of course that's why he did it. He did have that Invis rune. Unfortunately, Clockwork now sitting at less than half health. He might have to go home pretty quickly. If I were him, I'd just hook back to the creeps right now and just not use your TP, just to potentially be able to use it later. Seems like he's going to try to stay in this fight for the time being, though.
How's it going?
Love watching that. He's actually going to stay just so that Enigma can use his mech to try to get Clockwork as close to full health again as possible. And Queen of Pain ult is down. Of course, it is up in pretty much 2 seconds now, so nothing really going on at the end of the day there. Queen of Pain deciding to pick up her Sheepstick instead of save for buyback, so really needing those extra hexes to be able to kind of control the flow of the battle a little bit more. I still gotta say, this is an even game. I mean, like, although the last fight was a 5-0, and that really put back the pace at which this team is playing, Stars is still in this for sure. Queen of Pain still being really aggressive. A little bit less aggressive than she was in the early game, but, you know, doing as much as possible to kind of lengthen this and just try to pick apart a mistake that First Departure could potentially do to try to, you know, regain some of the advantage that they held in the early game. That's actually something pretty interesting too. If you consider the BKB factor, 3 of the heroes that First Departure have picked up have really nice... Oh man, hold that thought actually. An aggressive blink onto this Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain looks like she's going to try to go... Oh no, she does blink out to safety. For the time being, actually, Clockwork taking a lot of damage in the top. Both teams kind of picking off each other respectively. Queen of Pain going down to the Bat Rider. And Clockwork actually an excellent cog as well. Is he going to get out? He does have his hook up. He can hook. He's going to hook up into his team actually. Enigma sitting in the back. They're going to use a Flame Break. Nake's going into the jungle now. With that Flame Break, but they do manage to catch a Shadow Demon while Nake's is kind of zoned out. Clockwork's hook is up again. Is he going to try to go here? Missing his hook, unfortunately, on the Lifestealer, just barely, but they do get 2 pretty big pickoffs. Pretty funny fight. It was kind of like 2 4v1s going on there. Queen of Pain going down a little bit faster than the Clockwork did. Clockwork, of course, not actually ending up going down, and that was a 2-for-0 exchange. So another really nice exchange and almost a guarantee for the Roshan that's about to come. Why I was mentioning it before, that Queen of Pain had decided to pick up her Sheep Stick instead of saving for buyback, is exactly this. This fight, even though it looks like a 2-for-0, it's a lot more costly because of the fact that it is pretty much a free Roshan going the way of the Radiant side. And that's going to be a second life for potentially Luna, if they do decide to give it to her, because she does have her Satanic finished up now, so there is a lot of survivability going her way. I'd like to see it on, I think Luna's still the safest, yeah, and they do decide so as well. Clockwork is doing just amazing work so far, making sure that he survives with excellent cog play, hooks, just like he is not a one-trick pony. This guy is doing incredibly well, very versatile with that hero. Damn.
Damn indeed.
Damn.
Damn.
God. I wish someone had said, like, you know, a couple of years ago, man, this hero is going to be amazing, and that people should start practicing it all the time. I would have practiced it a lot more. Oh, a blink forward onto this Puck. He's actually going to force staff him as well. Puck taking quite a bit of damage. He does manage to get his orb out, though, and phase shift, so he does get away to safety. The aggressive blink forward, the BKB hole, hitting the Lifestealer alone, but that is the target they want to go on. BKB as well as Eclipse going on to this, Keeper of the Light now, getting the kill. Look how much damage this Luna's doing. Oh man, the hook onto this Lifestealer as well, being trapped into the cogs, but that kind of just means that Clockwork's taking a lot more damage than he would normally. They are going to continue this fight though. Luna going on to this Queen of Pain, while the Rubik taking a lot of damage to this Lifestealer. Rubik is going to go down as well, but the Luna, on the other hand, picks up the Puck. Queen of Pain and Lifestealer, the only casualties. Oh man, what a huge Sonic Wave, doing a lot of damage to that Bat Rider as well as the Luna. I'm pretty sure Bat Rider used his GoSceptor right before and took a lot of damage.
Yeah, it
Queen of
looked
Pain
like
looking to continue to blink forward. Are they going to be able to get this Luna? Luna does not have a TP scroll. That's actually quite important. But the Flaming Lasso going off onto this Queen of Pain. Are they going to be able to pick her off? The legs going onto this Luna as well. Man, this fight is looking really close. They actually managed to pick off this Queen of Pain. The Bash proc going onto this Luna. Second Bash proc. The Aegis is now used. Force staff away from the Bat Rider. Lifestealer now running for his life. Is there a blink? It doesn't look like he has enough mana, and that looks to be the end of that fight. These fights are pretty crazy, but they still are favoring the Radiant side, even though Luna did lose her Aegis there.
And that was another case of 4v1 versus 4v1. Basically, the Luna was just in the back, closer to the enemy fountain than the enemy carry was actually, just picking off the supports and doing work with her ulti, while the Lifestealer was at the front, just cutting off the Luna's team. Very interesting fight.
Very interesting fight. Man, this game is crazy. I love watching team fights like these for sure, though, because just like so much happens, and there's so much communication that you can really tell with these 4v1s, right? Like making sure that one stays alive as much as possible while they do get an advantage in terms of pickoffs. Really showing some solid play. Luna picking up a TP there in the corner. She's going to go back to farming these Ancients now, sitting at almost 4,000 gold. In terms of item progression, though, Reaver now being picked up by the Lifestealer. He does look like he wants to finish up a Heart, actually, rather than try to complete an Abyssal Blade to deal with that Luna. I do think that is the right call. He needs to pretty much tank up, although so does the rest of his team. And I've got to say, Queen of Pain she's playing a little over-aggressive now. I really like the aggression she played in the early game, but in the mid game, she's been picked off a lot more than she's been helping her team, and kind of being the source of that one in the 4v1s. Oh, a sheep forward from Puck onto the Clockwork, but they're not going to go for him. I think that was the right play to make. They didn't really know where anyone was, except for the Luna. And Clockwork could have, you know, hooked away to safety, potentially.
Yeah, you don't want to
waste
waste too
much.
much.
Out for his team, right?
Speaking of aggressive on this Queen of Pain, look at this.
Oh man, he managed to get Enigma, but once again the blink forward as well as the lasso, and now the Queen of Pain. This is exactly what I was talking about. Pretty much chain stunned to death after that aggression with the haste rune. Really over aggressive, needlessly aggressive, I would say, especially this late into the game. She's down for another 70 seconds, and her item progression has really slowed down now.
Did you see what happened with the neutral creep?
I didn't actually.
The centaur actually stunned as Queen of Pain blinked into the Eidolons of Enigma, and that's why she wasn't able to do anything.
Oh, that's really unfortunate. Man, this Clockwork, what is he doing? He's pretty
Oh!
much stalling. What a troll. He's gonna hook. He's just gonna hook. Look at this guy. He's pretty much stalling this lifestealer. It's... Oh, is he gonna get out okay though? It looks like he is. He's pretty much just doesn't want this lifestealer to TP out. They are, oh man, Keep the Light tries to use his recall, but it is going to be cancelled. The hook again. Clockwork is doing so much work right now while his team does work on the other hand. Is Lifestealer going to be able to TP out now? It seems like he isn't. He's out of mana actually, being forced to walk back. And that Clockwork play, incredible play. They're actually able to pretty much do work in the base while Clockwork just continues to hook on. Another hook going off. And the cogs. He's doing works. Oh my god. His team on the other hand getting 3 kills while Clockwork pretty much stalls this out with the Lifestealer. What amazing play coming out of Miracle. Absolutely flawless. This is going to guarantee the bottom tower. Absolutely amazing.
Oh my god!
And they get a Rax for free out of that. What an amazing play.
That was so amazing! I've never seen anything like that.
My roommates with that.
Oh wow!
That's a free bottom Rax. What an MVP performance coming out of Miracle. Not the weakest link at all by any stretch of the imagination. Wow.
I'm just blown away by that. That was like what, like a minute of just stalling
any better with his
the
hero, with
Lifestealer?
his skill set, and that's why they picked it and favored that hero as the 5th pick. Oh, but now here comes the aggression. Clockwork is pretty close though. Infested Lifestealer inside of this Queen of Pain. They are going to try to do as much work as possible. However, this isn't really the right time for things, I would say. Although Luna ults down for another 70 seconds, she has a DD, and there is the Blink BKB hole up for the Enigma. So kind of risky to go in right now. And looks like Lifestealer is actually just going to stay inside. I don't necessarily agree with this. I think he needs to speed up his item progression as quickly as possible. Man, I've got to say, that was just one of the best Clockwork plays I've seen in a very long time coming out of Miracle. The sheep forward onto Luna, actually. Luna in a really strange place. An excellent hook as well as the BKB hole, hitting that Lifestealer, but just the Lifestealer. Luna's going to continue forward, pretty much doing as much damage as possible. However, Enigma, the first one down, and actually the Sonic Wave doing quite a bit of work as well. Luna gonna go down too. The hook from the Clockwork actually managing to secure the kill on the Lifestealer, but the Queen of Pain manages to blink back. Okay, buyback from the Lifestealer. He's gonna pretty much pour pretty aggressively onto this Rubik. Is he gonna go onto it? He doesn't look like it actually. Just out of range of the open wounds, but his team is gonna be there to support. And actually, they do manage to get the kill with a nice Hex as well. So 3 heroes going down. Damn. Really nice bounce back as well. This game is not over yet, for sure. Although things look kind of out of hand in terms of gold as well as experience. Star is saying, you know what, we're in this to win it. We want to win. We need to take as much as possible and do as much as possible while we still have an advantage right now. And actually, speaking of advantage, this is a potential time for them to get one, as Luna is on the sidelines for 45 seconds without a buyback, I believe. Yep, no buyback. She's actually sitting 140 gold short of one. There is no fortify up. The blink forward aggressively onto that Bat Rider, but Bat Rider blinking at the same time.
Oh, look at the things coming out from the dire side right here. Oh, actually, hold on.
They're actually going to go on this Clockwork. Clockwork using his Yule Scepter as well to just kind of mitigate some of the damage. He melted though to that Puck. He used his Ghost Scepter, but at the same time, Puck's damage just went out there. Oh man, is Lifestealer going to go down again though? Using Infest onto the Keeper of the Light. Keeper of the Light running as fast as possible. Excellent play there by that Shadow Demon. He actually managed to get... Wow, he lives during all of that. Unwaiting Rift going onto that Enigma. Shadow Demon pretty much disrupting himself, but he is going to go down here. Enigma popping the BKB. On the other hand, Bat Rider as well as the Rubik being trapped by the Dream Coil. Bat Rider blinking out to safety. but the chase goes on, and actually Enigma's going to go down now too.
Radiant's middle
That was actually
tower is
quite
under
favorable
attack.
for the Dire now, but the creeps are now entering the bottom, and looks like the bottom, the mid tower is going to go down. Desperate pings coming the way of Stars, and everyone needs to TP out. Just get the heck out, defend our base, defend our Ancients.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Behold!
Man, what a great way to start this day 2 of GosuCup Asia, with some excellent performance coming out of both these Singaporean teams. Really unfortunate that Luna didn't have buyback for that last engagement, and that's a mistake she's not going to make this time around. Looks like they are, for the time being, potentially stalling out for Roshan. It's about a minute and a half left until it's ready, but I think with that last potential scare, First Departure is going to wait and just stall it out until they can kind of secure a little bit more of an advantage for themselves, because things are kind of shaky. Very back and forth play right now. And now, you know, the same things are happening on both sides, with the exception of the Lifestealer. The Puck as well as the Queen of Pain have the buybacks that they need to potentially just enter the fight yet again, use their sheeps, use their kind of mobility as well, try to get edges in these team fights. Here comes the potential. No, it looks like they're just trying to keep all the lanes pushed right now. I'm surprised Clockwork isn't rocketing the top lane just to make sure that that lane gets a little bit pushed as well. He is doing as much as possible to this lane here, though. Rubric getting all the last hits there as a result of that Illuminate stolen by the from the Creeper of the Light, I should say.
The Creeper of the Light?
Sorry?
The Creeper of the Light?
Creeper.
The Creeper.
He is an old guy.
It is true.
The Geezer of the Light.
Also, he kills creeps like no other.
That was awful.
There are multiple sides to this.
Oh, God. Alright, well, looks like Roche is being done now by First Departure. They did successfully stall it out in time. It looks like nothing's going to happen. No kind of contention by Stars. And this is an important one, as this is the third Roshan going down. So the Cheese as well as the Aegis of the Immortal being dropped. Luna most likely going to get the Aegis. Yes, sir. And the Cheese going the way of the Batrider. I'm surprised that they didn't give it to the Clockwork, actually, with his crazy utility performance going on so far.
Oh, they just transferred it over. The Cheese.
Oh, they did, eh?
Boom, there
Yeah.
it goes.
Yeah. And you know what item complements that item very well? The Blade Mail, but he isn't going for it. Actually, an aggressive blink forward onto the Puck. They are going to try to trap him. Puck should have an upper buyback, and he's actually going to get out okay for now. Meanwhile, Clockwork taking a brunt of the damage as well. Is he going to get out? Oh my god. Wow, he actually manages to get out okay. But unfortunately, Puck going down at the end of the day. Forced to use his buyback right away, pretty much. An aggressive blink forward, getting the kill onto the Clockwork, as well as the Sheep onto the Luna. Is Queen of Pain going to get out okay? She uses her Sonic Wave. Shouldn't blink out. Actually, nice disruption, saving her for the time being. But doesn't look like it's going to work out very well. All heroes kind of getting low on both sides. Nake's not having enough for buyback. He's actually taking quite a bit of damage and has his Rage on cooldown, so he's going to take pretty much every stun to the face going down, as well as the Queen of Pain going down. The blink forward by that Batrider as well. His ultimate's down for another 5 seconds. Buyback being forced by that Queen of Pain. Pretty much driving back the Batrider. They wanted to be aggressive. A 3-person Dream Coil going off. Unfortunately, Puck wasn't able to use that before, as he was the one in that 4v1 as we were talking about before. They do manage to get the pick off onto the Batrider as well. Enigma forced to use his BKB as well to dodge the damage from the Puck. Puck using his phase shift out as well because of the amount of damage coming up from the Radiant side. The BOT forward by this Batrider actually going to do some work onto this Keeper of the Light. Puck taking so much damage still too. This is a bot back Puck too. Look how much damage he's taking. He's at 100 HP, running for his life downwards. And you know what? Luna doesn't care. She wants to pretty much throne this right now. Still has her Aegis and forces the GG with that. What an amazing game. What a great way to start this GosuCup Asia number 5, day 2. And looks like First Departure makes their way into the quarterfinals with some excellent play. MVP of this game, without a doubt, has to be the captain of First Departure. That is the Clockwork player Miracle, the strongest link in this game.
Definitely.